Hey! I'm gonna give real quick Ukemi tutorial. So, an Ukemi is a sort of martial arts role, usually under the pretext of getting tossed or thrown, and it's a way to kind of soften the landing, in a sense. So this is kind of how it goes. It's a little bit similar to a shoulder roll. Now, generally when I teach shoulder rolls for things like parkour, I'll have people plant their hands, look at their back shoulder, and roll over the front shoulder to their opposite hip. That'll look like this. Ukemi is kind of similar. I'll usually have people start in kind of a fighting stance. And what I'll do is, first of all, a lot of different ways to perform an Ukemi. The way I like to teach it, take your hand, put it on your hip like this, so your palm is facing back, and just reach back like this. So your palm should be facing upward, almost like you're twisting that way. So your thumb is pointing towards your body. Not this way, down this way. Your other hand is going to be reaching out. Now, it's generally easiest to perform it so you're scooping down with your hand towards your back leg. So it'll look like this. Now, as it gets easier, it's better to reach out with your hand. That usually comes a bit later, and it's just good to practice both. That'll look more like this. Now that slapping, a lot of people think that loud slap sound is the body hitting, or the leg hitting, or even the head hitting. It's not any of those, it's the hand hitting. And ideally it shouldn't hurt at all. Let me give an example. When you hit like that, it's pretty loud, shouldn't hurt your hands, okay? Same thing, hit the floor like that, shouldn't hurt. That actually absorbs a lot of the force so that your body doesn't take all that destructive energy, all that force basically. Some people like to teach it from this position, from kneeling, where you go like this. Personally, I prefer from standing. You can try both. Again, kneeling would be like this. You reach out with this hand reaches back. You would put your hand here. You could also do a reach version. People usually teach it, I think, like this, from my experience, like this, and then you push with your back leg, like that, and then push with your front leg, like that. Some people might learn better that way. Some people might teach better that way. Personally, I've been finding more success just teaching it from standing. Right now I'm showing you right foot forward just because of the angle of the camera, but I'll usually teach most students left foot forward because most people will be in this fighting stance, unless you're southpaw, unless you're left-handed. But generally, it'll be like this, reach back, hand, and then you scoop. Now when I teach it also, I'll kind of guide the students. I won't throw them. I'll just kind of guide that hand back and this hand over. So kind of guide and slap. And as soon as somebody comes up, it's good to go right into your stance. Okay? Might note, there are a couple things you can do with your leg, your back leg. First of all, front leg is going to be the one that pushes to help get you some air. Your back leg, you can either bend it or you can keep it straight. There are advantages and disadvantages to both. Keeping it straight, if you have a soft landing, like on a mat or a soft carpet, or you've got nice, thick padded shoes or something, then it can be really good to help diffuse more of the force if you're being thrown really hard or really far. or if you're running and you trip, whatever the scenario. However, if you're being thrown on a harder surface, then I would probably recommend bending that back leg. So here are what the two look like. That's obviously bending, and then straight. Be like that. Now, the last quick note is this is under the pretext. If you have an opponent, say they grab you, they grab your shirt or something, and they throw you that way. Now, usually when that happens, they're going to throw you past them. So you're going to be on the other side of them. So when you come up, if you come up facing that way, then in this scenario, opponent's going to be behind you, which is not the ideal unless you're just going to run away. In which, it's not a bad idea to practice this and then have the student, or yourself if you're teaching yourself, run forward, okay? So, however, if the idea is to quickly turn and face your opponent, then as soon as you come up, you should turn. Get ready to dance. Now, one of the most challenging elements of this is the rhythm. That can take a little practice. A lot of people you'll see will go like that, kind of hit and then slap, but the arm's not really doing much good. So what you want to do, again, make sure you slap that hand first before your body hits. Okay? Diffuses way more of the force that way. And ideally, like, it should be painless to do it on any of this carpet. However, since I'm doing it over and over and over and over again, I'm doing it on the mat, because that's even more gentle. Now, final note I want to make is once this gets really easy, when somebody gets really good at this, it's good to practice the other side too, because you probably won't always be thrown on that one side. So once you get the hang of it with whatever stance is more natural, good to switch and then practice that side. And again, if you do it properly, doing it on a floor like this, it's a little squishy, but not super squishy. On a less squishy floor should also be fine, but it's not too uncomfortable, for lack of a better way to put it. Anyway, that is a real quick, real dirty Ukemi tutorial.